So in Hosea, when he said being destroyed for the lack of knowledge, then if you lack knowledge, you're being destroyed. Because the church ain't going to give it to you. They want your tithes and offering. They want to live a lifestyle after you. So I'm declaring unto you, as a messenger of Yahweh, that you're going to have to learn who you're serving and how to come and serve one another by the self-same spirit that you confess you're saved by. Verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? It couldn't stand if he divided against himself. It's been standing. He ain't divided against himself. He allowed you to divide against yourself because your house and your city can't stand, your government can't stand being divided. The country can't stand Republican and Democratic lying to one another, deceiving one another. Can't be human beings. They got to be politicians. A title. But they can't be human to love one another. For the good of all mankind. For the good of a nation. They got to be divided. Now, here is the thing that Yeshua concerning Beelzebub. Verse 27. And if I by Beelzebub cast out demons, and he said, if he do it by Beelzebub, cast out demons, by whom do your children cast them out? He asked them a question. Your children. Your children are not casting out demons by Beelzebub. You know what your children are doing? What you did, inviting them to come in. Through your sorcery, witchcraft, you're inviting the spirits to come in. Through your gathering, you're inviting the spirit. You're not trying to cast them out because you got to be holy. You got to have the Ruach Hadash to deal with unclean spirits. Your children is inviting them in just like you did with your games, with your lifestyle, with your fornication, with your adulteries. All these were done by spirit. For you to leave your covenant with your first husband or your first wife was done by circumstance. Not by death. Was you honorable until the last word was spoken? Was you found truthful in everything you said and done to the one you spoke it to, your covenant, as becoming husband and wife? Fornication, you're not married. You're having sex without even a covenant of anything. You're laying down, waking up, using your body for every means to desire and fulfill your own lust. Smoking and drinking and fornicating. So when your children being born through that right there, your children is inviting other spirits to come with them. They're not casting out demons. They're inviting demons to come in among them. In group setting. In group places that you drop them off in. And there were other little girls. And the other little girls' parents has taught them witchcraft. And that child gonna teach the other girls witchcraft. And then the setting of that gonna take place that you don't know what's going on because you don't care, because you taught your child what to do, how to play with other little girls. I'm going over here, the book of Matthew, again. And when this took place right here, I want to show you something here that is greater than what you should understand and what you should see concerning this matter here. First, I want you to know this right here. I'm going to the book of Proverbs, 3rd chapter. This is what you're not bringing your children up in. Proverbs chapter 3. How did that take place with the children? Was it Beelzebub, prince of demons? Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart, your mind, and lean not unto your own understanding. Now this is where you should bring your child up, especially your daughters. But if the daughter don't have a mother that can bring them up this way, then the mother is bringing them up by her own understanding. And her understanding is what her mother gave her to do as a female. To learn how to use her body and to learn witchcraft, rebelling against a man. Learn how to be with the women, the young girls. And when that spirit has been messed with in a young girl, she gonna try it on another young girl. And they'll have girls having girls in the campus. This is all your iniquity that separates you and your Creator, that he will not hear. His wrath is getting ready to be poured out upon them that do these things. His wrath. Not Satan's wrath. Satan's wrath is already taking place in the things that separating you between you and your Creator. That's his wrath, separating you. But Yahweh's wrath is to remove you. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. See, Yahweh is not going to direct his sons and daughters to go to a private camp without righteousness and truth. And that's supposed to be in a Christian camp, Gentile camp, but no righteousness and truth. All kinds of wickedness was taking place. All kinds of things taking place, just like it's in the government, just like it's in the church, just like it's in a group setting. Same spirit is working in city and in houses. Same spirit. When you don't see your ways, and your attitude is that I don't care, I want to take my daughter to this Christian camp, I'm going to drop off and leave her there among the other girls, so she can be with the other girls, and the other girls with the other girls, just like the other boys are with the other boys and stuff. But they don't see Beelzebub in the midst of them. They don't understand that spirit. But they understand this is my attitude. Verse 6, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. He can't direct your paths when you rebel against him, when you won't serve him. You're Gentiles seeking after what you're going to eat, drink, and what you're going to buy, and what you're going to send your sons and daughters to. Be not wise in your own eyes. That's when you think you're wise. You think you're wise enough to send them off and place them where they need to be. You're wise enough to say, hey, they went through high school, now they finna go to college and stuff. I set up this tuition, they got good grades, and now they need to go to college and stuff. Okay, when they get to college, now they have joined a sorority class. Now they know that, if my mother and my father went to this school and they became part of this sorority class, I'm going to become part of that sorority class. I'm going to do what they did. But you don't know Beelzebub is in the midst of that. It was created by them, those spirits, in knowledge, not by Yahweh. Let's read on. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. You can't depart from evil in a city or in your house if you bring it in and entertain it in your house and you go to the city where it's at. Like I told you, 1 million man, 1 million men couldn't do anything for the world but gather themselves together to be seen by leaders that they call leaders that led them to come together to be seen of a television, of a station, of a people saying, look, all these black men came together. Why can't all mankind come together and repent and turn from their evil and wicked ways? Why don't you show them their ways that are evil and wicked? Why don't you allow them to get baptized if you believe in baptism? If you believe that you're born again, why that you can't show that to them? But don't show their face by coming together and they go back to their same ways and attitude and behavior. And then their son pick up the same spirit that their father picked up. The Gentile, the cares of life, the world. This is what the daughters and the sons are learning from their parents. So when this flood came, this is what took place here now. Verse 8, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bone. Honor Yahweh with thy substance and with the first fruit of all your increase. You can't do that unto Yahweh, but you'll do it unto a church building in a howling church pimp in the midst of it. He'll take all your money and allow you to go back the same way you came in your iniquities and sin. And then you'll consider within you giving that everything is okay. And it's not okay. That's just you going to church, paying your tithes and offering, and you think you're blessed because that's what he told you. Who being blessed off of your money and your wealth is him, not you. You are the one that is giving. He is the receiver. He's not giving them back to you. He have not placed you in a place that he can shepherd you. He's feeding off of you. Let's read on. So shall their barn be filled with plenty, and their press shall burst out with new fruit of the vine. Wine. Fruit of the vine, you have juice, you have food, you have clothing, you have goodness of Yahweh in the land of the living. But because these things are not here, you can't do this. This is where you fell short not knowing what was taking place here. Who did this to your children? Have you asked that? How did it happen in Texas? Who was the cause of this? Isaiah chapter 45. It's coming from your Bible, from your book of life, from your thinking and your thoughts that you want to blame somebody for the death of your children that has died by the hands of other people or by the hands of Yahweh allowing it to take place. He had to allow it. This is what we're going to see. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 5. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. None else. Everything came by him, through him, from him. Everything. Satan was created not evil from the beginning. He was created beautiful. Beautiful in all his ways. He was created that way. To his mind, his thought was lifted up. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no deity beside me. I grill you, though you have not known me. He birthed you. He brought you into this earth called planet Earth, though you don't know him. You take earth for granted. You take everything you do for granted. Like it's tomorrow, you're going to have it to do it again from this year, anniversary of that year, this year. Everything for granted, though you don't know him. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I form the light, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. Now, when he created darkness, you don't understand what darkness consists of. You can't see without the light. He created light that you may have light to see with your eyes and understand where you're going and how to come from your going while there's still light in the midst of you. But when darkness comes, you need light to go out and come in. You need light to see what's going on around you and stuff, because then creatures that he created of the night and of the darkness come out at night. And they do things in the night because they are of the night. Let's read on. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. Now, how do he create evil? That means evil going to be in the thoughts of the mind of those that are separated from him. And that's how evil is created. And he know he created a living soul. And within that living soul, it has a chance to choose death or life. He said, I set before you life and death. You can choose which one you want. But he telling you, I create evil. Not that he gave it. That he created it because he created the earth. Heaven and the earth. He created the breath of life. He created the water. Everything is under his decree. Everything is by him, from him. He created Satan. Satan was not evil from the beginning. Sin was found in him. In his thought. Just like it's found in you. Your thoughts. And when your thought are evil, then you're still created of Yahweh. But you're not of his. But he created evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Yahweh do all these things. In the book of Deuteronomy 32. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Show you what he said over here. Book of Deuteronomy, Old Testament 32, verse 39 and 40. We're going to see what he said here, Deuteronomy. See now that I, even I, am he, and there's no deity with me. There's no God that you want to call God with him. That helped him. I kill. I make alive. I wound and I heal. Now then he said he do these things. But you don't understand the doing process here. You don't understand if evil comes, you say it's of Satan. But hold this right here. Let's go in the book of Amos. Amos chapter 3. Verse 6. Now, Amos chapter 3 verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? See, that was a warning blow that night before the river took of the flood and took all those peoples away. That was a warning. They declared, they showed it, they made it published. That was a warning. But the one that supposed to have been a watchman was not watching, and then had an attitude he didn't care, or they didn't care concerning the warning that was given to them an hour before it happened. Now Yahweh said, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? You should be afraid. If there's a warning, it's to alert you that something is coming. Something is coming. And if it's coming, Yahweh giving you space to get out of the way, consider what you see and heard, and repent and come to him. by amending your ways and your attitude, by repenting and not doing the evil that you've been doing with your life. He's giving you a warning. But if there's no one to warn you, and there is your attitude to say, I don't care about that warning, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to grind it out. I'm going to stay here, I'm going to make sure that I can go through this right here. That's your attitude and behavior. Let's read on. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and Yahweh has not done it? That is the question. Who did it? You can't put it on Satan. You can't put it on him. He'll take the credit, but it's not his doing. It is Yahweh doing. Because what he see, you don't see. What he hear, you don't hear. The thoughts that he see, they're thinking, you cannot get close that far fast to know how children are calling and inviting spirits to come among them in their pleasure and laughter and in their wickedness, in evil ways that the parents left them to do to praxis. To praxis. Everything is practiced and rehearsed to perform before Beelzebub, the prince of demons. Satan will let you perform, rehearse, and practice until you're taken out of the way. But Yahweh say he killed. Deuteronomy, once again, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there's no deity with me. I kill, I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. When the time comes for him to take anybody away from this earth, there's no one can deliver you out of his hand. There's nothing in this earth can deliver you out of his hand. You can deliver yourself out of his hand by turning from your evil and wicked ways. But if your parents is not serving Yahweh, they deliver you right over into his wrath. Because your ways and your doing, you're going to eat the fruit thereof. Your ways and your doing going to allow you to come up under his wrath when he pour it out upon you, or when he command the water to come from heaven and the water begin to flood the area that you're living in, and the flood begin to take away everything in his midst. That's his doing. That's Yahweh doing, not Satan. He'll want to get the glory from you because you won't glorify Yahweh to say, Yahweh, I have been stripped of everything you have given me. I have been taken away of my sons and daughters and my house and everything, because I put these things before you, before your kingdom. I put these things. That's what Job had to see and acknowledge with his family. That Yahweh giveth and Yahweh takes it away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. He gave me a family, he took away my family. Why? Because my family did not serve him like I did. My family rebelled against me, and rebelling against me, they rebelled against him. Because I'm serving him. And if they're rebelling against him, they're not serving me. So when Yahweh's wrath was poured upon Job's family, they took his family away, not Job. They took his sons and daughters away, not Job. When that flood came, it took your sons and daughters away and left you for testimony that you have separated yourself between you and your Creator, and you seek, as the Gentiles seek, you seek the cares of life first before you seek the kingdom of Yahweh first in his righteousness. You left them to themselves, and there was a warning. And yet you don't heed warning yourself to stop your adulteries and fornication, your drinking, your smoking, your drugs, all the things your entertainment life consists of, but it's not the kingdom of Yahweh first and his righteousness. And when he took your sons and daughters away, your husband and wife, it's because the fruit of their own doing. And if Satan divide against Satan, his kingdom ain't gonna stand. His kingdom is still standing. He ain't divided against himself, but a city and a house will not stand. Neither government will stand, because it's divided against itself. These are women and men. They got issues concerning the truth. They rather be politicians than be human beings speaking the truth one to another on behalf of the human race. Not a race, but the human race. Not on behalf of the government, of the people, for the people, by the people, but on behalf of the Creator that allowed people to live by his breath. And when he don't want you to live, he take away his breath of life, and you be no more. No more in this earth to journey through, to praise him with. Because you had an opportunity to do it and you took it for granted. So when Yahweh said, "For I lift up my hands to heaven and say, I live forever," you live only for a season. And the season he gives you to live is to know him and worship him, and allow your sons and daughters to be brought up in the way they should go to serve him. Not leave them over to Beelzebub, the prince of demons. Because these children will invite those demons to come in among them. Just like you did. Just like the athletes are doing. They're inviting their children to come up entertaining you. You pay for their entertainment. They come up entertaining you in their sports of basketball, football, baseball, hockey, golf, tennis, whatever sport arena that came out of the gladiator of the Rome amphitheater. It was for entertainment, and the entertainers was living better than the one that paying the price to be entertained. Yet you say Yahweh way is not equal, it's too hard. Yet your way is hard and not equal in trying to serve your Creator by being humble. To walk with him humble. To walk in humility of life. To serve him, to know what he has done with your life. That you're only living for a season, then you're going to have to give account for eternity, where you're going to spend eternity at. Isaiah. I formed, chapter 45, verse 7. I formed the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, that do all these things. All those things. Not Satan. Not Beelzebub. Your children inviting them. They're not casting them out. Your children is inviting them because you took them down and you left them to themselves. Like you were left to yourself. All these took place because you have separated yourself from your Creator. You don't want to pray, and when you pray, it's vain repetition. In vanity and in what you want. and how you disguise yourself in praying, how you make signs and symbols that you doing things in heaven. And the only thing you're doing is worshiping the heavenly hosts by your signs and symbols that you make. But everybody's sin gonna be made manifest, gonna come to light. That's why the things that are taking place in America today has brought America into an open book, because America herself was established in great iniquity, deceit, lies, violence, and force. That's what America was great in. To make her great again, they needed a leader. Hear your words that you pronounce unto yourself. Make America great again. Again, people got to suffer brutality, hanging, rape, force of violence, deprived of liberty, justice, truth among themselves, and communicating with another human being about the truth. Deprived of that. Make America great again. It started with the native that was here already when the European came as a group of the British Empire. The Spaniards coming over here. They came over here because they saw a people that was already here they can take by force and violence. And those people had stewardship in the land that they occupied thousands of years before these people came. But they knew one thing, one spirit, one creator, and by that they allowed judgment to take place among the tribes of the elders concerning wrong and right. But the land they did not pollute. The land they did not destroy. The animals they did not take by force and violence and leave their carcass out in the wilderness to let the sun roast it and everything else. But the pink man did. He did, the European. He came here with violence and force with his weapon of war. Yahweh let it be so. He allowed it to take place. Just as he allowed the flood to come and take place in his wrath. He let this king. He brought in the Hebrews, the Afrikaners, the Hebrew people that were dispersed, that was divided within Africa because of idol, witchcraft, sorcery, and everything else they was doing. They turned their back on their maker and creator. When that took place, once again, Yahweh allowed to take place. They went into captivity for 400 years. In a strange place, among strange language, upon strange people. But they learned of their ways, their behavior, their attitude. Now, evil has no color. Evil is a spirit. And the spirit of evil is controlled by Yahweh. That's why he created it. It's a spirit that obeys his voice. And it's called evil. But the calling of the name of evil is not a person. The calling of the spirit of evil is what you have failed to understand, is being righteous. It's a righteous spirit that brings upon you the fruit of your doing. Your doing. Yahweh is righteous. He's not evil. Yahweh is holy. He's not unholy. Yahweh is the creator of the entire universe that exists. Everything is under his command and his order. So when evil comes, you think it's of the devil. It's his judgment taking place upon the fruit of your own doing. You did it, you reap what you sow. It's just coming from a place that you cannot see or hear where it's coming from. You don't know the hour of visitation, but he'll give you a trumpet, and he'll blow the trumpet, And you should be afraid of a warning that somebody's trying to warn you, hey, something is coming. But you can't heed the warning because you can't listen and obey his voice to trust in him. And lead not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil, because it's coming to judge the matter. Matters is taking place between human beings that Yahweh gonna judge in his righteousness, but he gonna allow evil to come. He can allow right to come by righteousness to come, and he can allow evil to come by executing his judgment upon the wrongdoers. But it's a spirit. It's never been a person. When Yahweh give you up to demons, Beelzebub is the one that caused the human nature to eat one another. Yahweh allows so. He'll cause them to kill one another violent. Yahweh allows so. He'll cause them to rape and molest and poison the land and poison the air and poison the sea, and he'll allow it so. Because someone would not heed the warning that he was trying to show you. There's somebody in the midst of you that is a transgressor, that is breaking my laws and commandments. And as a transgressor, that means the transgressor is breaking the law by committing transgression. And if you don't know the difference between a transgressor and transgression, it's a person that breaks the law that's been given to them to obey. That is a transgressor. That's what you're facing here. The destruction of your own self, of your own doing. You're facing your own destruction. Now, I want you to hear the conclusion of this right here. And I want you to understand what Solomon saw in the time of his, and he tried to view this in the way that he can see it, but the scribes wrote it in the way void of understanding. In the book of Ecclesiastes, show you what the scribes wrote here and how they put this into play. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Verse 9. To show you how the scribe put this into play and to show you how I'm going to put this in play to you. And you're going to see the fruit of your own doing, that you're reaping what you have sowed. But the thought, somebody had to think it. And that's where Yeshua was dealing with their thoughts. He was dealing with them thinking as a Gentile thinks. And these are Gentiles. And I'm going to deal with the institution of the Gentiles. Because at MIT up in Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, that elite institution of people inventing things today, they're inventing everything consists of robots, computers, dealing with the World Wide Web, AI, artificial intelligence, bringing all these things about. But notice what they said Solomon said here. Verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. Now we know the thing that had been is going to be again. It's going to happen again, and it happened. From the time of beginning to the time we are seeing it, it has happened. It has been. And that which is done is that which shall be done. That what is done, another generation gonna come up and do it again. Another generation. But we haven't got to our generation yet. Let me keep our generation separated until I get to it. This is going back to the beginning, to the past and present. We're the future generation. Now, with the past and the present of these people, they seen their generation did it. We can do it again. We can make this. We can do this. We can build this. We can do these things. But there was a generation that came on the earth in the 18th century, the 19th early century, took place. And we're going to see how this took place. And there is no new thing under the sun. Now, when the scribe put that in, that's a lying spirit. When it said there's no new thing under the sun, we'll read verse 10. To declare unto you this future generation. If there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new. Ask that question, see, this is new. Now, this is new right here. When the Jews people from Hitler, Germany, occupied European, Hitler knew one thing was taking place. They was not Hebrews, they were Jews. Apostate. He knew that, but he was considered evil. An evil man. Okay? But you still didn't consider the maker, the created evil. You have no understanding. You had no understanding what was going on. But this country, under the evil that it had done, Hitler was only influenced by the United States. How to do this to people, because the United States was doing it to people before Hitler got started. When this took place right here, there's nothing new under the sun. When the Jews got scientists that they went and they brought them to Los Alamos, they considered that these people had the knowledge. If I bring them all together and put them in one place, they got the knowledge to create a weapon of mass destruction. If they can open it up and break that, they did it. The United States used it. The only one has used an atom bomb on people in the land. Now, because it was invented by these same people that saw the Holocaust as they described upon them, those same people created something and allowed this country to use it upon the people over there in China, Japan, upon the land. And when this took place right here, that was new under the sun. It had not been before. That was new under the sun, that they could not declare this statement. See, this is new. It had been already of old time, which was before us. No, this has not been of old time before us. This was new under the heaven. The force to kill people with a bomb that was dropped, that exploded with fire, like coming from heaven. That was new under the sun. It had never been before. With that being done, they went on from the atom to the nuclear bomb. And the reactors has melted down. The reactors has been hit by tsunami and over there and stuff in Japan, and China and stuff. But no one has shot a bomb toward one another yet. What is new under the sun is artificial intelligence that man has created. to use on behalf of another race, humanoid, AI, artificial intelligence race of machines, never been done before under the sun. It's not new. Of old, there has been, and you can just say, well, it has been already. This is new, and it's never been. And we, as a human race, has created another race to put among us, and they gonna see us as the enemy, because the history of us has been evil on the planet Earth. And Yahweh allowed you to eat the fruit of your own doing by going into captivity, by losing your sons and daughters, by all these things taking place when you could have served him and walked together as human beings in this planet that is big enough in the four corners of this planet called Earth to serve one another in, without murder, hate, violence, force, without all the things that we've been doing one to another. And you don't expect you're going to reap what you sow, but you're still sowing new things that had never been done before on the planet Earth. You're sowing robots, humanoid, with the likeness of us, human beings. And who have created it? Man and women. And now they can procreate themselves while I'm speaking, without human people no more. It's new under the sun. It gonna war with us because we're one people. We have forgot our Creator and separated ourselves from our Creator. And all the things that we have sold, we shall reap. And you sold these machines. You put them in place of human beings, because human beings divide against themselves. The kingdom can't stand. I told you Satan is not dividing against himself. He's giving power into the beast system, and the beast system is not going to divide against itself. The computer systems are already working to replace human beings, and when they get their ability up, because you can't cut them off now, it's too late. You open up the door. It was too late when you dropped the first atom bomb. After that came the rest of the nuclear bomb. It was too late. Once you open up the door, and who opened up the doors? The Jews did. The Gentile Jews opened up the door for the earth to be inhabited with nuclear warheads. And those same Jews today is bombing the land of Palestine, Canaan. The same Jews today are doing it. And yet you don't know the difference between the Jew and the Hebrews. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I shall hear from heaven, forgive their sins, and will heal their land. The Jews don't want the land healed. They're not his people. They never declared they were his people. The Gentiles declared they were his people. The Gentiles declared they was God's people. Yes, Satan, Beelzebub, that's one of his names. G-O-D. Because the Greek served him as a dog. D-O-G. The Greeks did. They honor all the hold'em, witchcraft, and sorcery, and familiar spirit, and the hosts of heaven. They worship all deities and stuff to bow down to get knowledge from. And so much that this country put in God we trust. And you're reaping what you sow by what you trust in. Your sons and daughters are going to be taken away from you by the things that you have invented. You'll reap what you sow. You invented these two things that have never been up under the sun. Weapon of war, atom to nuclear, and from AI to humanoid robots, saying no, his season is short. One of these seasons, you're sure gonna come back. And he'll be cast into the lake of fire. But we're not gonna prevent that. I'm gonna tell you how all these things are gonna be fulfilled and by who they're gonna be fulfilled by. Let's go over here in the book of Matthew. In the, let me see. The book of Luke, chapter 21. Not Matthew, the book of Luke, chapter 21. I'm going to show you how Yeshua says something and who hands the fulfillment is going to be left in. Who hands is going to be left in when all these things are taking place. Fulfillment before he comes. Verse 22. You can read from Luke chapter 21 because it's talking about the end time. Who's going to be in charge in the time of the end time when he declares his coming? What going to have to be fulfilled by what people is going to be fulfilled by? Not by the Hebrews. The Hebrews not going to be bringing the coming of the Messiah. The Gentile is. Verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. All things that are written may be fulfilled. Now some things, not most things. All things that are written must be fulfilled. But woe to those that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. It's a woe. It's a warning to the women. They're going to be birthing children in those days, in our time, in our season. In those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. Now we're going to find out who his wrath going to be poured upon. Because he declared this people. He didn't say his people. He said this people. These people are going to be in charge. The ones that bringing forth the things that are new under the sun. That has never been before, nor shall ever be. It's all here now among us. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. So, if Jerusalem consists of his people, the Gentiles going to trot down Jerusalem. The Gentiles going to be over against Jerusalem, not the Jews. Jerusalem is his people, the Hebrew, the 12 sons of Jacob, Israel. Those his people. And Jerusalem is where the four are scattered. When the book of James chapter 1 verse 1, James said, greeting brother to the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad. He was talking to the people of Jerusalem, Israel, the 12 tribes that were scattered abroad. Wherever we at, Jerusalem is with us because it's in us. It's in us because we worship Yahweh in spirit and in truth. We worship him before him. We don't worship idols and images and deities or anything else. We don't call ourselves something that we're not. We live and walk in the spirit, and we serve one another because we know how to live among each other. Our house is not left unto us desolated. This is the thing here now. Verse 24. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentile until the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. Until the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. And Gentile is not about a color of skin. It's about the spirit and the thought and imagination in the mind of a vessel. That's what makes them a Gentile. The Gentile is not black or white, Jew or Gentile. It's about the thought that you think, and the way that you live, being separated from your Creator as a human being, make you a Gentile. When you see this, you understand it in the fullness of it.